Happy Monday! Welcome to another week of my YouTube videos. Um, as far as Common Lit, I have assigned The Cone by H.G. Wells, which has a really very interesting ending. When you get to it, you're gonna be like, "What?" And then I've also assigned this informational text. It's called Chernobyl Interviews from Inside a Nuclear Disaster Area. And like you may not have heard about Chernobyl in school yet, but what it was like many moons ago, like 20, 30 years ago in Russia, there was like some kind of fault at a nuclear plant and it resulted in like one of the biggest nuclear disasters in history. Like 31 people died in the accident, but even though this happened in 1986, so over 30 years ago, even though this nuclear explosion happened in 1986, it is still not safe to go to the site because of all the like radiation and all the like nuclear waste. So it's just the text that you're going to be reading is just interviews from people who lived through that. And on my Christmas list for Christmas this year, I actually got a book called Voices from Chernobyl. And it's just like an oral history of the disaster from people who lived through it. So I haven't started reading it yet. I've got like a bookshelf full of books over there that I'm gonna read. I haven't started reading this one yet, but I'm really interested to read this and see what it's about. See what the people who lived through something like that have to say. So that's what we're doing on Common Lit. Okay, voices from Chernobyl. I mean, not voices from Chernobyl. Chernobyl interviews from inside a nuclear disaster area, and then The Cone by H.G. Wells with a crazy ending. As far as a life update, I rode my bike today, so that was really nice. Um, it was really the highlight of my day, and that's just where I am right now. So yeah, that's just what we're doing. As far as this book, The Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde, I have not read it from where I last left off when I last talked to you on Friday. So I don't have a big update to give you on this one. So yeah, coming Wednesday, I'll be able to tell you a little bit more about this text. I'm pretty excited about it though. Remember, magical realism. Magical realism is the truth. Um, So, as far as a quote, this week we are going to focus on a playwright by the name of August Wilson. He is so incredible. I had the pleasure of taking a class at the University of Memphis with my favorite professor who knows August Wilson backwards and forwards. And we got to read all of the plays in a cycle of plays he wrote called the Pittsburgh Cycle. And what the Pittsburgh cycle is that it depicts African American life in every decade of the 20th century in this neighborhood in Pittsburgh, in the Hill District, right? So he has a play from the 1900s, then the 1910s, then the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, right up to the 1990s. And they're beautiful. Fences. Now, you may have read Fences or you may have seen the movie or heard of it. Fences is a part of the Pittsburgh cycle. I think that is from the 50s. So I've got I've got all of the plays in the Pittsburgh cycle. And I think the world of August Wilson. I really do. He Gem of the Ocean is my favorite. Gem of the Ocean has like maybe I could start like a book club or something and we can read some of these things because they're too beautiful to not be read. But Gem of the Ocean has one of the most beautiful scenes I've ever read in my life in it. So our quote is going to come from August Wilson, the author, the man who wrote Fences, the man who penned the entire Pittsburgh cycle. So the quote is, all you need in the world is love and laughter. That's all anybody needs, to have love in one hand and laughter in the other. So what does this quote mean to you? What do you take from this quote? How can you apply this quote to your life? All you need in the world is love and laughter. That's all anybody needs, to have love in one hand and laughter in the other. Yeah. In the comments, just tell me, what does this mean to you? As far as our vocabulary, our word today is discombobulate. And discombobulate just means to like confuse or to upset or to frustrate someone. So if I'm feeling a little discombobulated, I'm feeling confused, I'm feeling upset, or I'm feeling frustrated. For example, let's say someone has an F in my class. After I'm there every day after school for an hour, after I have placed makeup work in the hand, like physically placed makeup work in the hands of my students to keep them from failing, and they still have an F in my class, that makes me feel discombobulated. I feel very confused and I feel very frustrated because I put everything in place to make sure that you succeed and you're still not succeeding. So then what's left for me to do other than to feel discombobulated? So give me a comment. Use discombobulate in a sentence. Tell me something that discombobulates you. Okay. Let me see. Went over common lit. Told you about my bike ride. Gave you an update on the book. August Wilson, Pittsburgh Cycle. We did vocab. So that's all I need you to do. Hit the comments. Um, Tell me what the quote means to you, how you can apply that to your life, and would make me very happy if you did both. But if you want to do an or and just do one or the other, you can also tell me what makes you feel discombobulated. So, what are you gonna do?